What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Millennial Men Explains. Today we're going to talk about the difference between a dash and a hyphen, and Chase is going to explain that to us.
All right, these are two things that are commonly misused and they're mistaken for each other. So first we want to understand their basic rules and why they're used. Now, a hyphen is going to join two or more words together, while a dash is going to separate those words into parenthetical statements.
So what is a parenthetical statement exactly?
A parenthetical statement is anything that qualifies or explains something, and we're going to see a couple examples in a moment that explain that well. A hyphen is also not separated by spaces, while a dash has a space on either side, and they're going to look different on the pages. A hyphen is used to preserve clarity and it avoids confusion or ambiguity in your writing. And the dash is a good way to remember when to use a dash is it's a more informal use of parentheses. And it also creates emphasis on what you're trying to explain. So some basic examples of the hyphen are, as you can see here, when you're talking about certain lengths of something, so a 35-hour work week, if you didn't have this hyphen, it might be a little confusing to the reader. If you were talking about 19th century literature, for example, you would want to have a hyphen between those two words. When you're talking about fractions, you must use a hyphen, 2/5, 2/3, 1/4. You're going to want to have a hyphen there when spelling those fractions out as words. And compound numbers between 21 and 99 always have a hyphen between them. Another major use of the hyphen is when you are combining two or more words that modify the same noun. So if you were talking about off-campus living or an off-campus apartment, you would want a hyphen there because off and campus are modifying the noun that you were talking about.
So I wouldn't want to put my apartment is off campus and then hyphenate that off campus if the apartment was first.
No, because it doesn't precede the noun. So if you said Lucy lives off campus, you would not have a hyphen there.
Okay.
Another example with multiple words in a series would be state-of-the-art technology. All of these four words are doing the same thing to modify the one noun technology. Now, some examples of using the dash would be the jurors had reached a verdict, dash, not guilty, and this is separating it into a parenthetical statement that further clarifies or explains what this sentence is trying to get at. And one that has multiple dashes would be, once the errors were discovered, 49 of them, the article was redacted.
So if I were going to do this, let's say on Word, how do I differentiate between the two?
They're going to look a little different. The dash is going to be a little longer, and to do it on most word processors, all you have to do is put two hyphens and a space, and it should convert that into a dash and have a space on either side. But the thing you want to remember is that this is just going to be one run-on thing. There's going to be no spaces in it. It's going to be a little shorter, and this is going to have a space on each side.
Cool. So that's a hyphen versus dash.